So these have been great for basketball in my dance classes, but I need some running shoes. I'm just not cutting it for running. I need to feel light and airy, you know what I'm saying? So today, my first mile was 5:56. Easy, wasn't even difficult. One thing I forgot was that I used to pretty much only wear basketball shoes, and then somewhere in college, I started wearing running shoes instead of basketball shoes because they were so much lighter. And you get no ankle support, but man, you can really move. So when I ran that 5:45, it was with these shoes, weighs 10 ounces per shoe. But then I started playing a lot of basketball at that park again, and I really you kind of miss the stability sometimes of just having like a solid basketball shoe. So I got these assuming that they would just be, just as good for running. And this is 13 ounces. So maybe it's not that much more actually, but somehow they're so much bulkier and heavier. Let's find out how much these are. These are 9.5 ounces. Obviously, me being able to do a 5:56 today fairly easily is that I'm getting more in shape. But immediately just running in these, I'm like, oh, right. That's why I was wearing running shoes all the time. That's why I stopped wearing basketball shoes in the first place. And now for lunch and a review of the Panasonic S1H by DP Review TV. It's a good day. So the Sigma 18-35 and Metabones, they're going back. Well, first of all, the focal plane is messed up. It's decentered and it's diagonal instead of straight. And I looked online, but there was one guy on the Blackmagic forums who was saying that he had 2 different lenses and 2 different Metabones, and they all had the same problem. Honestly, I just don't want to bother with it. So it's going back. The good news is, well, this is kind of good news and bad. There's so many wrinkles to it now, man. The Panasonic S1H, the full frame Panasonic that was just announced a few months ago, I didn't pay any attention because I was like, oh, the S1 doesn't have a flip screen. The S1H has a flip screen. We are talking Panasonic full frame with that dual image stabilization, that beautiful 4K, it goes to 6K. With a flip screen? Oh, yes. The only problem, and this is kind of a problem, is that it's a $4,000 camera. Now, do I have $4,000 just for the body to spend on a camera? No, I could sell all my Sony equipment, but do I want to sell my Sony equipment? Because the one thing the S1H is still missing is that autofocus, baby. Now, just as I was talking about a few vlogs ago, everything is a trade-off. You will never, ever, ever be able to have everything exactly the way you want it. So you gotta pick and choose what you're willing to deal with and not deal with. Okay, here's some fun stuff though. Last week or two I've been kind of going pretty hard on the collection aspect, but the collection of mana. Finally, they brought Seiken Densetsu 3 to America with an English translation. How could I not support that? How could I not support that? It would be against my moral obligation and my moral code for me not to support this. Nice. Oh, no, I'm reversing that. So that'll do it for today's Bridget Von Vloggers Mark. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. I wish it weren't like that though. I wish everything was just perfect. I'm sure there was a point in time where life was perfect. Then we got bored of it. And we're like, why don't we spice things up a little bit? Let's make it a little spicier. Spice it up. Spice it up.